80.
Nobody.
Nobody got higher than 80. No! Yo, 20 bucks. 20 bucks. No, I said the highest. Yeah, you said the highest. No, there's no extra. No, there's no partial credits. That's fucked up. I could have gotten a 90. Are we gonna fail? What's the word? Like, did I even come to like the value?
You have exam tomorrow. The fourth one. And then you have the fifth exam, final exam. So you still have a chance.
I got why.
Take it day off. But if you don't take, then you're going to lose your fourth exam score.
Oh!
I would do that.
3 minus 4 minus that's what you
Final exam is 30%.
Can you make it like 30?
It's
Yo, I'm
really
fucking
the
dumbass.
difference.
You only saw this far, yeah? I didn't see this far. No. Hold it. Yeah. Oh my god.
I can't check
That's
the
why I need
grading.
an energy. Yo, I could have gotten the. I could have gotten 100. Are you gonna post your answer?
I will.
Wait, how's this wrong though?
Alice.
Wait, how did I get this wrong?
Alice.
Wait, Jalen, what you got?
Yeah, but I got one. Oh, wait, no, I got one right.
I got 80.
Okay,
I'm the highest. Me and Pedro is the highest. Yo, what you got?
Yo, what you get?
Yo, what you got?
Sorry, 80 is not highest. My bad.
What?
What I got?
What's the highest?
Yeah.
Oh,
Hey,
you
you
said
said you do better than you.
Sorry.
So what's the
84 is the highest.
I got better than you. I'm better than you. I'm too better. I'll give you my money too. You said $50.
Yo, you said no. You said no. You said no.
What you got?
Yo, we got this guy. What do you get? Got 84.
My money.
No, I'm you want to do basic? It's very odd. Well, I did basic math wrong. Yeah. But what if I pass the final but not the class? You didn't pass.
Did I pass?
Yeah.
Overall, you have to have 60 to pass. So if you pass the final with at least 50, and then the overall is 60, you're fine.
What did you think was gonna happen? The lowest you ever have?
Nothing happened. Why? Huh? That's why I gave you guys twice chance. But it still did bad. Only 7 passed. Of course not.
It is different. It's practice.
The first exam, the second exam is exactly same thing.
Yo, come on.
Even less fraction.
Yo, come on.
I gave you the review sheet. I gave you the first exam. I gave you the solution. I gave you
these
everything.
two.
What else you want me to do?
Yo, please give me partial credits on these two. Please. Yo, how's this wrong though?
It's not wrong. It's okay. This one is wrong.
No, how's this wrong though?
It's not wrong. It's okay.
No, you marked it wrong though.
Yeah, because I thought it's some other number, and then I realized it's not 19.
Oh,
And
so I got right. I got points for that. So I only got one. I got a question wrong. One and oh, yo, I'm a dumbass. Look, I didn't find the slope of this because I thought I do the derivative and then find the slope. No, find the x-intercepts. And did this wrong too.
You
Yo,
made it very complicated, but so it's much easier.
and then look, I did 3 minus 4 minus 1 equals -5. I didn't see the 3. Yo, Come on, partial credit.
So your last
Please.
mistake and be careful in the next exam.
Next exam is the
It's
final.
tomorrow.
Oh,
Next exam is
there's no partial credit.
there will be partial credit.
Everything. Please, please. You
Not
you don't give
everything.
partial credit.
First, few things will have partial credit, few will not have partial credit.
You only give the partial credit on the easiest questions, and you give like no partial credit on the hardest questions. That's not fair.
It's like the final exam. Final exam mostly there is no for 24 questions there is no partial credit.
Fair.
See, for 24 of them.
Why is this one wrong?
So which one?
Because this is 1/2, not -1/2, but you get to the denominator.
Wait, why did I do that?
Exactly.
Oh, I got that question right. Yo,
That's even the same question. I want the extra credit.
oh yeah. Wait, number 2, right?
Yeah.
Oh, skip that.
No, it's number one.
Oh,
So
number
this one, because you put it on the denominator, so it's
Oh.
Yo, I got that right.
this one is not 75. It's why is my solution?
Oh, this is 4 plus 6. Yo, I could have gotten it right. 82. I could have been higher than. Yeah. Yeah. Yo.
Question 2 is 25/9.
How did I get 74 over 81?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I thought I was gonna
And
get
for
9.
question 3,
Okay, but you got
started, but then you forgot that minus and minus turn into plus. So you just put the -4 here. This is -4. You put +4.
Oh my god. Okay.
But your math is what here.
We got 20.5.
This one limit. It's not
Would you
equal.
say I get half a point?
3 hours.
Because I basically did the whole thing except for one part.
Divide that tomorrow.
Wait, can I see my grades, please?
Huh?
Can I see my grades?
Your grades.
Because like, remember last time I had a 78, even though I got an 80. I don't know if that's changed, and I definitely need it. I definitely, as you can see, I definitely need it.
Try better tomorrow. So you have 84, 80.
What is 80?
8.
So you're gonna choose that one, right? The 38?
So you're still on the same.
What is this?
How do you get these?
I plugged it in.
Why did
I
you put
guessed
it?
1, 2, 3, 4. I'm so serious. I didn't know how to do it. So I just got like I did 1, 2, 3, 4, negative 1, 2.
It's wrong anyway, but
Oh, it's wrong anyways?
yeah. But I'm telling you, like, you randomly just cannot put some numbers. You have to show.
I mean, no, 0, 0, this equals 0, and then 4, 4 equals 0. I think, if I did it right. But it'll probably be a 38 even if you gave it to me. It'll be the same thing.
Same thing, but I'm asking you, do not skip any parts.
How much part of this is in the final? A lot?
Almost all of them.
Is this?
Almost all of them.
You're lying.
Press one of these, but definitely both of them. But one of these will ask you for the tangent line,
Right?
but definitely both of them.
3 questions?
And then this one, definitely.
3 questions?
This one, definitely.
Why?
This one, sometimes doesn't.
The easy
This
one sometimes.
Definitely. Horizontal tangent line, definitely. This
On
one,
the final?
yeah.
Are
This
you
one,
just lying? Like,
I'm not lying. That's why I gave you the chance for the second time. Because this is final exam. See, all these questions are final exam questions. Okay, this one came last time. So probably to come.
you just directly took it?
Yeah. This one, just last time.
What
Definitely
clip on
a
the
quotient rule.
You don't understand.
All of these, final exam. The entire exam is the
Okay, what?
This is the third thing.
is final
Like,
exam.
you have to know this.
Part of the final
Oh,
exam.
okay, okay. Wait, how much questions?
How many questions?
30?
And like 6, the question is gonna be from this time.
Or 6?
Or 7.
Not 6. All, the entire exam is in the final exam.
11,
So 11 of the question is different than this.
10 or 11.
All of these are final exam question. The thing is, they don't always give the same question. Some semester they give this one, some semester they give easy one.
Okay, look, am I gonna
But
like fail?
all of them.
Like, what do I have to get the next test? Like,
The next test is tomorrow, so it's based on limits.
What do I have to get though? Like,
What do you have to get?
Where am I at right now?
if I'm gonna fail, I'm just gonna go to work.
No, you still have a chance because you have 80s. Plus your homework is good. You still have 80s, your homework is good.
And then we got extra credit, right? Right?
Extra credit for what?
You know the 10 questions you gave us?
Yeah, it will add it with the exams.
Okay. So then,
Wait, so what?
just so I show up tomorrow and get it?
So if you get high score in the fourth one and in
What
the
if I don't? I haven't started studying.
Yo.
Easy?
Yo,
Is it easier than
you're
this?
decreasing.
Be honest, like,
I give
Wanna
you the
start
review
today?
sheet.
I know I don't
I-
I work like a lot, like 45 hours a week.
You think?
It's
That-
not hard, it's harder than this?
No,
The fourth one?
definitely not.
The fourth,
Wait.
the fourth one is.
According to the students, it's the hardest exam.
I'm gonna jump at the window.
Not according to me, it's according to the student. So come tomorrow, like you need to
Well, if
see
I'm
how
gonna
much you
take-
get.
So if I get a 38, it'll still help. I just gotta get a good, oh my
So
god, I'm
after
gonna
I
fail.
grade your exam, then I can tell you how much you need in the final exam to pass.
Wait.
So I need the exam 4 score, then I can tell you.
You'll make a calculator probably,
I already posted the calculator on right space.
no, to get like whatever score you need to get on the.
So after the fourth exam, I'll definitely can tell you how much you need in the final exam. So that's why don't miss it, like take a half day off from the work. If you cannot make it, for
Yeah,
2:30, come at 12:30. I have another exam at 12:30.
no, I could, 12:30 is worse,
So either 2:30 or 12:30. Two choices. So take a half day off.
12:30.
I'll just have someone clock in, clock out. But I gotta know the material, is it actually harder?
Yeah, I posted the review sheet.
Then I'm clipped, and
Students-
there's no point.
According to students, is the
Definitely
hardest
study
one.
it and like.
But the thing is, I already went over the solution. So the review sheet, it's just like just like the exam.
Oh,
Review sheet
she's like almost exactly like
Yeah, that's
this.
how it was with last.
Unlike
Review sheet.
like this thing.
So many questions, I'll just give less questions. So I'm gonna tell you today what will be tomorrow.
Wait,
How tomorrow's
so
exam.
if I get like a 60 on the next test tomorrow, and I get like a 60 on the final, you think I can pass?
Can I,
After till you take your exam tomorrow, then I can tell you.
can I
what
get
you
these
need.
removed? Cause I couldn't. We'll talk about it after I'm borderline failing.
Yeah.
I go to the lowest like 30. Okay, anymore. I just get the bond of the office. I can take a picture of myself at the ground. Well, that's.
Okay, let me tell you guys what will be in that exam tomorrow. Guys, I cannot talk loudly, okay? So please be quiet and listen to me. What will come in tomorrow's exam? We have limits. There are few types of limits. One of the question about 0/0. When you have 0/0, you have to modify the function, means factor, cancel, rewrite, and then resubstitute. One of them will be from number over 0. If you have number over 0, it means it's vertical asymptote. So you're going to substitute two numbers, one from the left side of the limiting value, one from the right side of the limiting value. And you're supposed to get infinity as your answer. Either it will be positive infinity or negative infinity. If left side give you, left and right side both give you positive infinity, your limit is positive infinity. If left and right give you negative infinity, your limit is negative infinity. But if one side give you positive infinity, other side give you negative infinity, then the limit doesn't exist. So this is the second scenario. 1, 1. Then from piecewise, there will be two questions from piecewise, 2 or 1. Around 2. I forgot, is it 2 or 1? So for piecewise function, you substitute based on your equation. For example, here they're asking what's the limit at 1? And if you observe, the domain is broken down at 1. So that means you need to know what's the y value for the first part. So substitute into the first part and then find out what's the y value for the second part. If both functions give you the same y value, then the limit, that number. But if you get two different y values, one from the left, one from the right, then the limit doesn't exist. And that's all you have to do. Substitute the limiting value into the first function, look at the y. Substitute into the second function, look at the y. If they are same number, the limit is that number. If they're different, then the limit doesn't exist. Same thing here. It's asking what's the limit at 2. And if you observe, your domain broke down at 2. That means you substitute 2 here and see what's the y value. You substitute 2 here and look at the y value. If they both are same number, then the limit is that number. But if they're two different numbers, then limit doesn't exist. Okay? So 1 or 2 of these. And then for horizontal scenario, there will be 6 of them. 6 of them. Actually, 7 of them. Around 17 to 20. 17.
That's a lot.
Final exam is 30 questions, 2 hours.
That's better.
Yeah.
Because
The more question you have, the more you can get.
no, but the less
wrong.
questions, the more time you have to check it out.
Yeah, but then the points will be more. So here you don't have to do any math. Okay. For horizontal asymptote and the infinite limit, they follow the same rule. These are the 3 rules you just have to memorize. Point if denominator has highest degree, then your limit is always 0. Your horizontal asymptote is always 0. If the denominator is big. If you have the same power on the same highest degree on the numerator and denominator, then your limit and your horizontal asymptote is the coefficient. These are the 2 rules you have to memorize. And then the third scenario, if the numerator is big, what happens? When the numerator is big, there is no horizontal asymptote. Horizontal asymptote means it's a line that graph cannot cross. Okay. So if you have bigger numerator, your line is going on forever, upward. So there is no boundary, there is no asymptote. But for limit, either it's positive infinity or negative infinity. It's positive infinity means it's going upward. If it's negative infinity means it's going downward. How do you decide? You substitute infinity into the highest degree. Okay. For example, here we have negative 2x cubed highest degree on the top, 3x squared highest degree on the bottom. When you compare, our numerator is big. So you cancel denominator and numerator, and you get negative 2 over 3x. And then what type of limit you have is substituted here. If it's positive infinity limit, you put infinity. If it's negative infinity limit, you put negative infinity. If it's positive infinity, then infinity times negative number is negative infinity. But if you're going to the negative infinity, then negative times negative, your limit is positive infinity. So you're going to substitute your infinity here. For infinity, the answer will be negative because negative times infinity. But if the limit, see here, the limit is going to the negative infinity. So this is negative infinity. We have -2 times negative infinity. This turns into positive infinity. So when the numerator is bigger, you have to substitute. Otherwise, you don't have to do any math. We just observe highest degree on the top and bottom. If the denominator is big, that limit is always 0, and also the horizontal asymptote is always 0. If they have the same degree, like this one, 2x squared and 3x squared, they both have the highest degree squared. We cancel the square and you left with 2/3. Your limit is 2/3, and your asymptote is also y equals 2/3. Limit, the infinite limit, and the horizontal asymptote, they're the same thing. Okay? So just remember 3 rules, 7 of them will be from here. So 7 times 2, 14 is already here. There will be 2 questions from vertical asymptote. Oh, don't forget to bring your calculator. Tomorrow you need a calculator.
Wait, how do you?
I'm gonna show you later.
So what if we don't have one?
Borrow one from the library or the SIG department. So in the calculator portion, there will be a vertical asymptote, and you really need the calculator. And there will be also another vertical asymptote here in the non-calculator portion. So this vertical, why not this one? This one. This one is for calculator. There will be one question for the calculator. And this will be non-calculator. In non-calculator, you're going to find all 5 of them. To find the domain, you just have to look at the original denominator. The denominator cannot be 0 because that makes everything undefined. So to find the domain, denominator cannot be 0, solve for x. And then you simplify the function. Once you simplify means you factor cancel. Once you simplify, then the rest will be based on the new function. For the new function, to find the renewable discontinuity is the thing you cancel, the factor you cancel. You set the cancel factor equals to 0, you get the x value. You substitute the x value into the new function, you get the y value. So that will give you a whole. The removable discontinuity means it's a whole. And I'm going to ask this question. What does removable discontinuity mean? And you're going to circle it's a whole. So it's the point. You need both x and y, and you get it from the canceled term. And then the vertical asymptote means when the denominator is 0. So not the domain denominator. Only the domain takes the original denominator. Everything else takes the simplified version of your function. So if you set the simplified function, if you set the simplified denominator equals to 0, you get vertical asymptote. And that's it. You set it equals to 0, solve for x. If you set the numerator equals to 0, then you get x-intercept. And then for the horizontal asymptote, you just look at highest degree on the top and highest degree on the bottom. You can use the original one or the simplified one. It doesn't matter, you get the same result. Since we have the same degree on top and bottom, your asymptote will be y equals 0. Sorry, not 0. Coefficient 1/1, which is 1. So when you have the same degree, your asymptote, horizontal asymptote is the coefficient. The removable discontinuity is set the cancel term equals to 0, solve for x. Vertical asymptote is the simplified denominator equals to 0, solve for x. So here you're going to get 10 points question. And vertical asymptote is a non-removable discontinuity, means you cannot remove that. For example, it breaks the function into 2 pieces, and there is no way you can make them a single one, a continuous one. So that's why this discontinuity is a non-removable discontinuity. So I'm going to ask, what type of discontinuity is vertical asymptote? You're going to say it's non-removable. I'm going to ask, what is an example of a removable discontinuity? You're going to circle it's a whole. Now for the vertical asymptote question in the calculator part, they give you big numbers. That's why it's in the calculator part. So depending on what type of calculator you have, either you're going to have a hard life or easy life. If you have TI-89, then you're going to put the numerator function into your calculator and click solve. It will solve for x. And then you put the denominator function and then hit solve, it will solve for x. So get the x-intercept from the top, x-intercept from the bottom. And then whatever you see in common, suppose you get the x-intercept, x equals 1, 2, 3 from the numerator. And suppose you get x equals to 2, 4, 5 from the denominator. So you look at both x-intercept, and if you see anything in common, you cancel them. For example, I see 2 on the top, 2 on the bottom, you cancel them. After the cancellation, whatever remains of the denominator, they are vertical asymptotes. Okay, so for calculator part, that's all you have to do. Enter the numerator, click solve. Enter the denominator, click solve. Whatever you have in common, cancel. And the remaining denominator is vertical asymptote. Vertical asymptote is always the denominator. And it's always the simplified denominator. Okay. And now this thing we didn't do. So this is the new thing, which will be tomorrow. Continuity. There'll be 2. I think in the final exam, I saw 3 of them. So 2 to 3 from continuity. It's same as what we did before, even though we didn't do it in class, but this is same as this part here, piecewise function. The difference is in piecewise function, they only ask for the limit, and here they're asking for continuity. Means say it louder. Everything will be in the test. So in here, they're asking where the function is continuous. So what you do, we look at the problem. This is our problem. Before 0, the function is continuous. After 0, the function is continuous. That means the only problem we may face is exactly at 0. So you have to see at 0, do you have a continuous function? How do you see? We look at the y value. You substitute 0 here, look the y. What's the y value we have? Substitute 0 here, look at the y value. What's the y value we have here? If you have the same y value, then function is continuous. Okay? The limit exists and the function is continuous. But if you have 2 different y values, then the limit doesn't exist, function is not continuous. That's all you have to do. Substitute your limiting value into both cases, and then observe the y value. So here, I broke it down into pieces for you to understand easily. But in the exam, I'm not going to break them down. I'm just going to ask you, is this function continuous at 0? So you have to do is this. Look at the left limit, then substitute into the first function to see what's the y value. Then look at the right limit, then substitute into the second function and see the y value. And then see this one has the equal sign, means our y value, the actual y value is this one. Whatever it gets here. Like these 3 numbers are same, the function is continuous. If they are not same, the function is not continuous. Same thing here. They're asking where this function is continuous. So if you observe, we have 2 problems. One is at 0 and one is at 2. So if the function is discontinuous, they can be discontinuous only at 0 or 2. So you have to check both scenarios. Is it continuous at 0? Is it continuous at 2? So what you do is you do the same thing 3 times. You substitute 0 here, look at the y value. You substitute 0 here, look at the y value. If both are the same number, then it's continuous at 0. And then you look at the second scenario. This is your another problem too. So you substitute here and see the y value. For the last one, we have 2, we substitute here, look at the y value. If these two y value are same, then it's continuous at 2. So if you see one of them, they are not same, then it's not continuous at that point. If they are not same, then it's not continuous. So in order to be continuous, two y values have to be the same number. Now this one is a little bit weird because look at what is happening. Our first function you can substitute 0, but in the second function you cannot substitute anything with this constant function of 6. So there is nothing to substitute here. So y value is same regardless of what x value you have. So let's do this one. For 0, we can substitute, so we get y equals 0. Now, for this function, when x is 0, our y is 6. So is this function continuous at 0? No, because one x value is telling us our y is 0, the other x value is telling us our y value is 6. So not continuous at 0. And then you look at the second problem at 2. If you try to substitute, you cannot substitute. So when x is 2, our y value is 6. There is nothing to substitute, there is no x. Then you look at the second problem. When x is 2, our second y value is 2 times 2, which is 4. So for the same x value 2, you have 2 different y values. So is the function continuous at 2? No. So not continuous at 2. That means this function is continuous everywhere else except at 0 and at 2. Okay, so that's all you have to do.
First part of the piece, I'm not sure if I'm reading this right. First part of the piecewise function, x should be less than 0, and then the second part of the piecewise function, the x should be in between 0 and 2.
Exactly, so the problem is it doesn't even have any y value. See, this one is less than, this one is also less than. So there is no y value when you have x equals 0. So it's automatically discontinuous at 0. But if you look at here, we have the equal sign, so y value does exist, but here y value doesn't exist because there is no equal sign. For this, that's all you have to do. Substitute, 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 and compare. Now this one is the interesting one. It says we have a piecewise function, but the second piece is unknown. So what number you can plug in here so that the entire function will be a continuous function. There will be no gap in your function. So in order to have a continuous function, we just notice that we have to the same y value. So all you have to do is set them equal to one another to see what x value give you the same y value. So we're going to write x over x cubed plus 4x equals c. As long as the y value we get from here equals to the same y value we get here, then the function will be continuous. Now our x value is 0, so you're going to substitute x equals 0. But if you do that directly, 0, 0, 0, you get 0 over 0 equals c, which is undefined, right? 0 over 0 doesn't exist. Anytime you bump into 0 over 0, what do you have to do? Huh? Modify. So how can you modify this function? How can you change it? What can you do? What can you do? Factor. What can you factor from the denominator? X. So before you substitute, let's factor. You get x squared plus 4. And then what happens? The numerator x, denominator x, you can cancel down. So you're left with X squared plus 4 on the denominator. And what goes on the numerator? 1. And now you substitute 0. If you substitute 0, do you have any problem now? No. So what is our C? C equals 1/4. So that's all you have to do. Set both of them equal to one another because you want to have the same y value. So this will give you a y value, this will give you a y value. You want the same y value to have a continuous function. And then substitute in x is 0 because x is given, x is 0. If you bump into 0 or 0 problem, means modify, means factor cancel, and then resubstitute again. Okay, so 3 questions. At least 3 questions from here. So 7 questions from limit, infinity limit. And then 3 questions from here. Now here, let me make your life easier. I'm not going to give this one, so ignore this one, but I'm going to give you the other one. Yeah. In A, it's asking why this function is continuous. So tell me why it's discontinuous. Where this function is discontinuous.
Is it one thing? Is it whole?
When there is a hole, so it's discontinuous here.
No.
But sharp corner, we can draw sharp corner without lifting our pen. If you can draw without lifting your pen, it's continuous.
No.
This one, discontinuous. Now, where this function is not differentiable, it doesn't have any derivative. Where this function doesn't have any derivative, it's here and here and sharp corner. So the last question, where the function is continuous but not differentiable, means it's continuous but derivative doesn't exist. So where this function is continuous but derivative doesn't exist. 1. Why? Sharp corner. We can draw sharp corner without lifting our pen, so it's continuous, but it doesn't have any derivative. So continuous, but not differentiable. Okay. So there will be one question like this. You have to find out why the function is not continuous, why it's not differentiable, and why it's continuous but not differentiable. So that's all about limits. So most of the exam is based on limits, okay? 2.3, 2.4, the entire exam. Now, 2.7 and 2.10, all of these questions they gave in the final exam. So I don't know which one you will see in your final exam, but definitely from these questions, okay? So what I decided is that I'm gonna give one question in the non-calculator part and one question in the calculator part. Okay. And here, so from here, we have so many scenarios. Marginal revenue. So there will be one question, marginal revenue. Then we have marginal cost. So one question about marginal cost. So this is also marginal cost. These two are marginal cost. These two are marginal revenue. Marginal revenue. See, the good thing is that they don't have much concept. They have either marginal revenue, marginal cost, or average cost. So these two are maximizing profit or revenue. So maximizing question. And then velocity. So these are velocity question.
No.
This is your velocity question. And then we have average rate of change. Average rate of change. And this is velocity. So what you should do is you should know how to solve each type. Like what does marginal revenue means? What does marginal cost mean? Or what does average cost means? Or what does average rate of change means? Okay, what does velocity means? If you know these means, then it doesn't matter which problem they give you, you'll be able to do it. So from here, since there are so many concepts out there, I don't remember how many, but exactly 3 of them. I mean, around 3 of them. 2.73, 2.10, 2. So,
Go over. You know.
So marginal cost. What is marginal cost? Anytime you say the word marginal, what does marginal mean? Huh? Derivative. So marginal cost means derivative of the cost. So see, you have to remember marginal means. So let me go over. Okay. It says find the marginal revenue. They gave you demand. Come on, what is this? Forget it. They gave you demand function. This is demand. And they're asking for marginal revenue. So how can you connect demand with the revenue? Revenue is what? Demand times what? Revenue is what in terms of demand? X, not profit, demand. Revenue is X times demand. So they gave you demand, but they're asking for marginal revenue. So first, you're going to find what is revenue. You multiply X times demand. And then you take the derivative. Derivative of revenue means derivative of that thing is your marginal revenue. And they're asking, what is the marginal revenue for X equals 2? Means take the derivative and then substitute X with 2.
Oh, that's easy.
All of these are easy. You just have to know like what is given and what they're asking.
Like derivative of the 500 minus 20x.
Times X. Because this is demand,
Oh.
but the revenue is demand times X. So you're going to multiply first, distribute, and then take the derivative.
500x minus 20x squared.
And then take the derivative. The next one, they give you cost function, and they're asking when the marginal cost is 0.
Wait, 500? Oh. Wait, how's it 420?
So our revenue, okay, let me do it here.
500 minus. Wait, but she's a pilot for derivative. What?
So our revenue is X times demand, which is X times 500 minus 20X, which is 500X minus 20X squared. Now you're finding the marginal revenue. So marginal revenue means derivative. So what's the derivative of 500X?
Oh, it's fine. Oh.
500. What's the derivative of 20X squared? 40X. And they're saying what's the marginal revenue for X equals 2? So X equals 2, so 500 minus 40 times 2. That should be 420. In the next one, they give you cost function, but they're asking for marginal cost. So marginal cost means it's derivative of the cost. So you need to take the derivative of the cost function. So you're going to take the derivative of this. You have two choices. Either use the quotient rule to take the derivative, or you can simplify fast and then take the derivative. Whatever you do, take the derivative. And then it says marginal cost is 0. Means whatever derivative you have, set it equals to 0, and then solve for x. Now, if you use calculator, all you have to do is take the derivative, put it inside your calculator, equals 0, and then hit enter. It will solve the x value for you. This one is same, they're asking for marginal cost. But there's a difference between the last one and this one. Here, they gave you the original cost function, and here they give you the average cost function. So from average cost, first you need to find the cost function. What is average cost? What about what? What's the formula for average cost? How do you find some average?
Something might fall.
How do you find average of your exam score? Divided by what? The total, how many you have. So average cost means total cost divided by how many items you have, x. So average cost is total cost divided by x. So they gave you average cost, but you need to know the total cost. So you multiply both sides by cost. So you multiply both sides by x. So that cancel out. So first step, you find the cost function using the average cost. And then you take the derivative because that's the marginal cost. So depending on what you have and what they're asking, you have to make a connection. If you can't make the connection, then you know what to do for every question. The next one, they gave you revenue and they're asking for marginal revenue. What is marginal revenue? What does marginal revenue mean? What you're looking for? Derivative of the revenue. Derivative of revenue. So do you have the revenue function? Yes. That means all you have to do is take the derivative. And it says when the revenue, marginal revenue will be 0, means set the derivative equals to 0, solve for x. In the next one, they gave us demand, but they're asking for marginal revenue. So how can you connect demand with the revenue? What is revenue in terms of demand? X times demand. So first you're going to multiply your demand function by x and then take the derivative of that. And they're asking what's the demand, what's the marginal revenue for x16? Means substitute x equals 16. Maximizing revenue. In the next one, they gave you revenue function and they're asking to maximize the revenue. Maximize, minimize. Anytime you see the word maximize, minimize, what do you have to do? Maximizing, minimizing means what? Increasing, decreasing? No. How do you find maximum, minimum of something? For example, Let's say this is a graph. Why is the maximum in this graph? And why is the minimum in this graph? So how do you find those numbers? What do you observe? And how can you find them? If you draw a line, what's the slope of this line? 0. So how do you find maximum, minimum? How do you find the slope? Slope is what? If you have a line, then y2 minus y1. But this is not a line. Derivative. So maximizing, minimizing means derivative equals 0. So take the derivative, set it equals to 0, solve for x. So see, all of these are just background information you need. What each word means or what to find. So write a note on a paper, okay? Like the way I'm telling you. Average cost tells us it's the total cost over x. So first you need to find the total cost so that you can take the marginal cost. Marginal column is derivative of the cost. Revenue, marginal revenue is derivative of the revenue. If you don't have the revenue, but if you have the demand, then first you need to find the demand. First you need to find the revenue. X times demand is the revenue, and then the marginal revenue is the derivative. Here, they are maximizing the revenue. Anytime you maximize anything, maximize, minimize, makes derivative equals to 0. Here they give you the demand function. But what question they're asking you? Maximize the profit. But they give you cost and they give you demand and they're asking for profit. So how can you get profit using cost and demand? What is profit? How do you find profit in your life? Revenue minus cost. They give you cost. Did they give you revenue? But what they give you? Demand. That means first you need to find revenue using demand. So what is revenue using demand? X times demand. So you write X times demand minus the cost function. Simplify, and then you're maximizing it. Means take the derivative, set it equals to 0. The next one is asking, they gave us position function, but they're asking for velocity. What is velocity in terms of position? Position and velocity, how they're connected. What is velocity in terms of position? No idea? Velocity is the derivative of position. Okay. Velocity is the derivative of the displacement, means position. So they give you position, they're asking for velocity, means what do you have to do? Take the derivative. And then they're saying velocity for t equals 12, means substitute the derivative, substitute t equals 12 in the derivative. Now there's a difference between 8 and 9. In 8, they're asking what is the velocity, just the velocity. On the other hand, on 9, they're asking for average velocity. Now, velocity is the derivative. Average velocity is not the derivative. What is average velocity? Slope. So you have to use y2 minus y1 divided by x2 minus x1. Average velocity is the slope of the secant line, means you need 2 points. The normal velocity, only velocity, is the slope of the tangent line, means the derivative. So for average velocity, they will always give you two numbers. These are the x numbers, x equals 1 and x equals 3. So x1, x2, substitute them into the function to get y1 and y2. Once you have it, find the slope. So there will be one question about average velocity, okay? Definitely one average velocity, one normal velocity. And then maximizing, minimizing 1, marginal cost 1, marginal revenue 1. Average rate of change. If you see x values are given, two x values are given, that means it's a slope, this slope, okay? So this one is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. They gave you two x values, x equals 2 and x equals 5. So find the y values by substituting x values here and then take the slope. So average rate of change is same as average velocity. But if you see the word instantaneous rate of change, instantaneous rate of change means the derivative. So average rate of change, they give you an interval means slope. So there will be one question about average rate of change. And then marginal cost is derivative of the cost function. The normal velocity means derivative. So it's asking when the velocity is 0, means when the derivative is 0. So take the derivative, set it equals to 0. So let me tell you again what will be in the exam. The normal velocity means derivative of position. Then there will be average velocity, average velocity. Average velocity and average rate of change are the same thing. It's been y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. How do you recognize them? These will be given into two numbers. So you need to find the y values for each number and then find the slope. Alice, say it louder. Velocity means derivative of the position function equals derivative of the position function. So there will be one velocity, one average velocity. Then we have cost. For cost, we have marginal cost. It means derivative of the cost function. Then we have marginal revenue. It means derivative of revenue. Now for revenue, if they give you demand, that means you have to find revenue as x times the demand. But if they give you the revenue function directly, all you have to do is take the derivative. If they don't give you revenue function, but they give you demand, multiply by x to get the revenue. And then we have marginal profit. Marginal profit means derivative of profit. So most likely they will never going to give you profit function. You have to find the profit function. So profit, depending on what is given, you find profit differently. Profit is revenue minus cost. They'll always give you the cost function. But for revenue, they may not give you the revenue function. If they don't give you revenue function, so you're going to multiply x by demand to get the revenue function. And then take the derivative to maximize it, or for the marginal. And then we have maximum, minimum. It doesn't matter what you are maximizing, minimizing. It means derivative equals 0. You set the derivative equals to 0, solve for the variable. So these are the basic idea of 2.7. So expect to see all of these in the exam. And all of these are final exam questions. So I don't even know which one to omit because you may see them again in the final.
Wait, but the next test, wait,
Tomorrow.
no, okay, can we use calculator?
You must bring your calculator because there's a calculator part.
Wait, what if you don't know how to use?
Do you know how to solve for x? How to find x-intercept?
I have no idea.
Okay, I'm gonna show you. If you don't know how to use it, Google it. Okay, on YouTube, ask how to find x-intercept on your calculator. All you need is finding the x-intercept. That's the more thing you need. Finding
How do you
x-intercept.
exit this?
Escape. Let me
Wait.
tell you what will be from 2.10.
Okay.
So 1 second. 2.10, depending on what is given, you use different formula. For example, when you see balloon, it means you're going to do volume of the sphere. So you have to memorize what's the volume of the sphere. Guys, your exam is tomorrow and you're leaving and not listening to me, and you're expecting to pass this class. If you see balloon, you have to remember it's the volume of the balloon. So you have to use the volume of the balloon formula. If you see cube, that means you're finding the volume of the cube. So volume of cube with side S is S cube. So you have to start with the cubic formula. If you see rectangle, most likely they are talking about area. So area of rectangle is length times width. You're going to start from there. You're going to write length and width, take the derivative using, takes you two variables, so you have to use product rule. Circle. When you have a circle, which means area of the circle. What is the formula for the area of the circle? Pi r square. So you're going to start from there. And anytime you see something increasing, decreasing, it means it's a derivative given to you. Okay. So two scenarios, okay? Two scenarios from balloon, cube, rectangle, anything else? I don't know. So we did all of the, we went over all of these questions during lecture. If you have time, revisit those lectures. It's from 2.10. So on YouTube, I have the name, the title, 2.10, 2.7, all of these. Just rewatch the video if you have time. And don't forget to bring your calculator tomorrow. And definitely don't be late, please. Good luck. Where are you going?